It's Tuesday again, and you know what that means. We have 3 vendors to check out. Let's go, starting in the Scholarium.
Have you scribed that?
First up, Bound Affix Script Empower adds Empower, a buff increasing heavy attack damage. Bound Focus Script Trauma adds healing absorption effect. Bound Signature Script Thief's Swiftness adds improvement to your mobility. Now let's head over to the Telvar merchant. We are in Imperial City. Let's see what she has.
This is all.
We have the Amulet and Ring of Akatosh's Law. We have the Rift treasure maps. These are going to be super cheap on traders. Do not buy them for 6,000 Telvar. But if you are curious, the Rift brings us Draugr's Heritage, Witchman Armor, and Yiskimor's Birthright, as well as a chance for leads for Ancestral Nord gloves and swords. For our scripts, we have Bound Affix Script Force, adds Force, a buff increasing critical damage. Bound Affix Script Savagery and Prophecy, adds Savagery and Prophecy, buffs increasing weapon and spell critical chance. Bound Focus Script Flame Damage, adds Flame Damage. And Bound Signature Script Anchorite's Potency, adds a Consume Soul Gem to grant ultimate effect. We have Fragment of Aggression, which is part of the Force Shock Wildburn style. It is one of 6 pieces needed. This piece drops in the Westwheel Delve Haldane Lumber Camp off of the boss. It is a guaranteed drop, so I would just go pick it up there rather than spending 5,000 Telvar. For leads, we have Golden Saint Cameo. This is for Saint and the Seducer, and drops off of the Alakir World Boss Lesser Circle. Our next lead is Iridescent Pearl Water Wash. This is for Cerabane's Ward, and drops from Fishing in Galen. And then our other jewelry is Necklace of Meritorious Service, as well as Ring of Meritorious Service. These are Telvar only. The other one I think drops from Rewards of the Worthy. Those are all here for 100,000 Telvar apiece. Nothing super exciting here to me. Let's go see if we have better luck in Infinite Archive. And let's see what Filer Ul has for us.
I would sell you a map.
Okay, first up we have Rothgar treasure maps. Yet again, these are going to be cheap on traders. Go ahead and just buy it there instead of for your archival fortunes. But if you're curious, Rothgar brings us Briarheart, Mark of the Pariah, and Trinimax Valor. We have a book, Beverages for the Bereaved. The last time I remember seeing this was March of last year. It's a really nice book. I like that it's open. This one drops out of Infinite Archive, and the eidetic memory is in Telvanni Peninsula. Next, we have Blueprint Breton Armchair Padded. This one only runs about 30k on PCNA, but there's not that many listings, so if you do need it, 2,000 archival fortunes isn't horrible. Our second book is Boethia and Her Avatars, and I looked this one up. It actually dropped in March of last year with the Beverages for the Bereaved book, so this is the second time we've seen both of these books together. This one, however, drops from Scrivener's Hall, and the eidetic memory is from a quest in Eastmarch. In Cradle Crutch, you have to do a quest in order to get into Cradle Crutch. You get punted by a giant. You probably remember if you've done it. All right, our scripts. Bound Affix Script Evasion adds Evasion, a buff reducing damage from area effects. Bound Affix Script Magicka Steel adds Magicka Steel, a debuff granting Magicka Restoration to attackers. Bound Focus Script Generate Ultimate adds Ultimate Generation. And Bound Signature Script Anchorite's Cruelty adds a Consume Soul Gem to deal Oblivion damage effect. Our style page this week is Shadowrend Shoulder. I typically don't recommend getting shoulder pages. You can get these with keys when the associated mask drops. I don't think my advice here is changing either. Save your archival fortunes for something harder to get. Companion equipment, heavy armor. I typically don't recommend companion equipment, especially the armor. Companion armor bought this way is bound, and you're at the mercy of RNG as to what trait you get. You don't get to pick or anything. So I think 5,000 archival fortunes is pretty steep unless you don't have anything else to spend them on. Diagram Dwarven Lamp Cylinder Cage. This is a pretty decent pattern. Retails for about 60 to 100,000 gold on PCNA. There's only 4 listings. 2,000 archival fortunes is a pretty good deal for this if you need it. Next up, Disgusting Spoils. Consume 25 Disgusting Spoils to unlock the Scheming Skeever's achievement and the Malographic Skeever pet. Remember, with these, you have a guaranteed drop with your daily, with your Infinite Archive daily. So at 25 of them, times 3,000 apiece, this gets really expensive. If you're in here farming Archival Fortunes anyway, enough to buy 25 of these, just do your dailies and get them that way. That's my advice. Fragment of the Blind. This is another fragment for Force Pulse Wild Burn. Remember, we already saw one at the Telvar Merchant. This one, however, it comes out of Bedlam Vale off the final boss. That one is a little bit more difficult to get, especially if you're not somebody that runs dungeons. So it is here for 5,000 Archival Fortunes if you need it. But remember, it is a guaranteed drop, so if you do run Bedlam Vale, you will get it. Our leads, we have Dwarven Articulated Paws. This is part of the Ebon Dwarven Wolf mount, one of 17 fragments that you need. This one drops off the final boss of Darkshade Caverns 1. Does this look familiar? Golden Saint cameo? We just saw it over in Imperial Sewers. So you have your choice this week. If you want this one, you can buy it with Telvar or with Archival Fortunes. If you need a refresher, this is part of Saint the Seducer and drops off the Alakir World Boss Lesser Circle. Personally, I don't know that I would buy it from either one. I think I would just farm it, but it's here in both if you need it. Next up, Telvanni Armchair Organic Praxis. Again, this is 2,000 Archival Fortunes. This one only has 5 listings on PCNA from 68,000 to 250,000. I think this one's a pretty good deal. Sadly, this is probably the best thing I see this week. All right. And 6 House Taylor's Bell. For 3,000 Archival Fortunes, you can have a piece of the 6 House robe costume. These retail for about 1,000 gold on PCNA, so I don't recommend this one either. But if you want to try farming it on your own, this one drops out of the Forgotten Waste Public Dungeon in Vardenfell and is one of 7 pieces. But if you need the bell and you plan to buy it, I would get it off of traders, not with Archival Fortunes. All right, nothing super exciting this week. Let's run a couple arcs of Infinite Archive and see what gear is dropping. Maybe that's more exciting. All right, we just finished a couple arcs of Infinite Archive. And this week we have gear dropping from Stonefalls. That includes Shadow of the Red Mountain, Shock Exoskeleton, and Silks of the Sun, as well as from Blackwood, which includes Bog Raider, Deadlands Assassin, and Frostbite. Remember, Frostbite can be broken down into Ivory Brigade class, which are used for housing. Right now on PCNA, those are selling for about 6.3 to 7.8k. So this could be a lucrative run if you need to do some Infinite Archive anyway. I probably wouldn't come in here just for that, but it wouldn't be a half bad run for some gold making as well. So wish I had more exciting news for you this week. Hopefully something better next week. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you in the next one.